Okay, so we're going to continue on this beautiful day. Yeah, today's weather here in Central Texas, where I am, is so beautiful. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. I need to go where the weather is cold and crappy. Because I like it. I like the weather cold and crappy. Oh yeah. Get sick of the sunlight. Constant sunlight. Constant land of perpetual summer. Land of perpetual summer. That's what I call Texas. Dumb old Texas. Where all my kids were born. Where I spent 30 years or so. I protected Texas in the National Guard. Yeah. Texas Army National Guard. Took an oath. I like dumb old Texas. Don't get me wrong. I like Texas, but I like the crappy cold weather better. Sorry. Why? I don't know. It's one of those things. I grew up in the crappy cold weather, so I guess it's stuck in the brain. It's stuck in my brain. Yeah, dude, but Texas has all of those flints and church and stuff. How can you move away? How can you move to a place that's just like a stone desert? There's no stones to nap up there, man. How can you stand it? You know, you can make arrowheads out of stuff that's not stone. That's what comforts me. I don't have to make no arrowheads out of stones. You start making them out of bones. Yeah. And in fact, you can be very creative with the bones. Just look at the Magdalenian culture, the one that replaced the Solutrean. For you progressives out there, progress to bone. Yeah. Solutrean, the beautiful Solutrean thin stone blades were replaced by the bone guys. You wanna compete? Can't compete with bones. It's shown in the past, yeah. I almost stopped in Flintknapping, and I almost got into bone working. There was a time where I said, I'm going to stop this Flintknapping stuff. Yeah, I'm sick of it. I'm going to go to bone, like the Magdalenians. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. I'm just a foolish American. Yeah, I'm talking about European culture. Stone Age culture, Magdalenian, or however you say it. I don't speak the Queen's English. Anyway, I almost stopped napping, and then I came up with this behind the knee stuff. And I went, you know, I'll hang on a little bit longer. And then I discovered heat treating. And it was like a cool breeze on a hot day. I tell this story a lot on my videos. Heat treating literally doubled my supply of rocks, because now I could nap twice as many as I could before. Before I was napping maybe half of what I was collecting from the landscape supply yards. I walk in the front door and I go, you got landscape gravel that's like agates and stuff? Oh yeah, we got some over there. Awesome, dude. How much is it per bucket? Well, we just weigh it, and you know, bring your own buckets, and we'll weigh it. I think it was at that time it was like $15 a bucket. 15, 1-5. I could get 80 pounds of agates, and half of them were knappable. It turned out to be what they call bull gravel, but they call it agates just so they can sell more of it. They don't call it bull gravel because, or to the customers, because it sounds like it's BS, you know, bull. BS gravel. But even so, it is BS gravel. It can still be knapped. And I was knapping it when I first started. Very difficult material, yeah. Did it make me the napper that I am? Well, if you count the anxiety and the eye twitches, yeah. I wish I didn't start with that stuff. Once in a while, in their piles of limestone, I would find Georgetown. Oh yes. The landscape supply yard I used to raid, they would have Georgetown once in a while, little nodules and little chunks of Georgetown in their limestone blocks. You know, you can, what do they call it? You can quarry limestone blocks for landscaping and masonry walls and stuff. It's kind of rough looking, but it's cheap. So I used to dig through their limestone block piles for the Georgetown. And I went, so this is what flint is. Holy moly. It's a whole different ball game. So yeah, after I discovered flint, heat treating, and invented the behind the knee, I said, you know, I think I'll stick with stone. Them Magdalenians, they're cool and everything, but I think I'll stick with stone. Besides, some of it is nice to look at. Cool colors. Bone's just, boring. Boring. Bone color. Alright, so here we go. What are we going to do? I always say that. What are we going to do? Here we go. I get to this point, I don't know what to do. I end up selling a lot of these as blades. I don't know if I'm going to sell this as a blade. I did this off camera, I think. Sell this as a blade after I sharpen it up. What if it were me, just for myself? I'd make Frio points all day long. Everything Frio points. What's a Frio point? Look it up. Look it up. Please. Please look it up. But if I offer the Frio points in the auction, they don't sell well. I mean, they sell well. They just don't sell for a high price. Which is fine. Doesn't matter. I mean, it's easy for me to make them. So don't feel bad. I like making them. It's easy for me to make them. I'll sell them at a low price all day long. But it's the fluted points and stuff like that. The serrated, the fluted, that people like to spend money on. But those are the anxiety points. Oh yes. Which reminds me, I'm going to start using a jig to flute points. I'm sorry, but I'm going to break with my tradition. And my tradition is not using jigs. I'm going to start breaking the tradition. Why? Because jigs are freaking awesome. Yeah. They are. It could be the next stage in the evolution of my flint knapping. Yeah. First stage in my evolution was indirect percussion. And then heat treating. Then finding true flint and good stone. Maybe the next stage in the discoveries, the beneficial discoveries, is going to be fluting jigs, flaking jigs, devices to make points with, and blades. Maybe that's the next cool, awesome thing in my Flintknapping journey. We'll see. I probably won't be able to get to it for a while because it takes time to make them and experiment with them. I can't just wing it. That's the thing. I can't just wing it. If I can't wing it, it takes me forever to do it. To get around to doing it on video and as a full-time thing. There's a learning curve with the jigs. You don't know what I mean? Just look up fluting jigs on the YouTubes. After I get the rotary tool to grind down the step fractures, I'm going to get myself a fluting jig. Or make one. Yeah. Us craftspeople, we can look at something for 5 seconds and go, I can make that. So I'm going to make it. Make one. And if the one I make doesn't work, I'm going to buy one. I'm going to buy one. Okay? All you people that want to learn how to speak American, and learn one of those other ways of saying stuff, like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. That's just me. That's what I do. It's not English. Yeah, I suppose so. Sorry, it's not English, it's just what I do. I'm gonna teach you the wrong way. Yeah. Okay, so I sharpened it around the edges. It's only 12 minutes into this video. It's good enough for a knife blade. It's a little bit wonky, right? It's a raw stone, high quality, semi-translucent. I can sharpen it a little bit better, but it's sharp. Yeah. Super duper sharp. I mean, sharp enough to cut better than a razor blade. Is it razor sharp? Look at it, dude. It's like asking if a saw is razor sharp. Stone is more like a saw blade than a razor blade. In case you hadn't noticed. Do I get it zoomed in enough for you? Look. Does that look like a razor blade? I mean, I know who asks questions like that, but look. Look at it. Does it look like a razor blade? Does it look like I can sharpen it like a razor blade? It looks like a saw blade. Because, guess what? That's what it is. No matter what you do, it's always going to be like a saw blade. Unless it's a natural edge on a blade that's removed from one of those specially made cores. You know, like the Central American, the Aztecs and others. They would remove large blades from cores, long, large blades. And the edges don't look like a saw blade. It looks like a razor blade or a scalpel blade. That's the exception. So some of these flakes, they have a blade that looks like a razor blade. Come on, come on. I know it can focus. I know the technology is there. We have the technology. See that? If you look at it through a microscope, you can kind of see the little jaggities. But for the most part, this is like a razor blade with a natural flake. All right, can I make an arrowhead out of this? Yeah, I can just haft it just like this. No modification whatsoever. And it'll do the job, even if it's a little bit curved. Sometimes it does the job a little bit better. No, I can't say that. I can't say that because I haven't done many tests. So I would just be regurgitating what someone else said. Why would a curved flake work better? Well, it'll kind of break, but the breakage is sharp. If it breaks, snaps there, it's sharp. And a little piece of stone in the wound, will lead to infection. So if you don't find the animal right away, it will die eventually. Why is that useful? Well, if you shoot a predator with this, and it breaks off and it causes an infection in the predator will die, and you'll have more of the non-predator species in your area. Yeah, because you're not competing with the predator. So you shoot this at predators like wolves, coyotes, and other predators of your main food source like deer. Right? Whatever eats the deer, you kill that. Use stuff that can cause infections as well. You can use poisons and whatnot. Why do I bring that up? Because a lot of times people are saying these type of things are for killing your food animals in their traditional sense. I don't know how to say this, but plant eaters. You're killing plant eaters. You're killing deer, sheep, antelope, other plant eaters for food. They never talk about using these against predators. They never do. Why is that? I don't know. I guess they don't want you to know that humans developed as predators of predators. We are predators of predators. Yeah. Otherwise, we don't need big old brains. Why do we have such big brains, and why can we make tools? Because we are predators of predators. If I was living back in the day, what would I be spending my time doing mostly? I would be defending against predators, human and otherwise. I'd be shooting wolves, shooting coyotes, bears, mountain lions. That would be my job. And shooting people that are invading our area, trying to steal our stuff, trying to kill our people and enslaving our children. Yeah. That would be my job back in the day, other than gathering firewood and making tools and whatever else. We need big brains in order to be predators of predators. And once you get rid of the predators in the area, guess what happens? You've got more of a chance to harvest the other types of animals for food. Now, my theory is these tools are used to hunt predators, and you trap the other animals, the dumb ones. You trap them. Or lead them over cliffs. Stampede them over cliffs so they fall over the cliff and they die at the bottom because they're dumb. I don't think you can stampede a group of bears to go over a cliff, right? Or a group of mountain lions. Can't stampede them over the cliff. They won't fall for these dumb old traps, in many cases. Deadfall traps and stuff. Not like deer would. It's easy to trap a deer. All you need is put some food in there. They're dum-dums. So to capture dum-dum for a food, you don't need these sophisticated weapons. But to get the smart predators, now there's the challenge. Especially when it comes to people. If you're defending yourself against people. Yeah. Just need sophisticated weaponry and sophisticated brains. All right. What am I going to do with this one? Oh, let's see. Make an effigy? No, not after all that work. Not after all that work. And this disclaimer, anything you hear on this channel is not necessarily the views of Jack Crafty. Just this guy that's doing the video. Yeah. Who is Jack Crafty? That's the question. Who is it? I'm not telling. Man behind the curtain. Yeah. Alright, so after I take off a lot of these lumps, I am going to see what I'm going to do. So that's why. See, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fumble my way through this and see if I can remove this lumpy area. I want a thin edge, and this is a lump. You see? On this side, it's a lumpage. There's another lumpage right there, just so you know. The rest of the edge looks okay, but that's not good. And why am I choosing copper? Well, maybe it'll crush less because I just crushed some of the edge with the steel tool. Yeah, there you go. I didn't crush it. See that? Magic. And you might say, well, because you abraded first. Yes, that's also part of it. I might not have abraded well before I used the steel. But why not do both? Why not abrade a little bit and use copper? Double anti-crushing technique. Anti-crushing, yeah. Okay, so I'm yapping a lot on this video because I want it to be over already. I don't really want to make something out of this. I want to offer it as a blade. Let you guys mess with it and make whatever you want from it. A lot of options. If I offer these blades for sale, there's a lot of options. You can make a knife, you can make a spear point, and then you can try mounting this on an arrow, or if you're an lattice dart enthusiast, you can mount it on a lattice dart. Oh, dang it. If I don't ruin the edge, you can make a pendant out of it. You can notch it. Put it in the display case as a simple blade, just to round out your display. Because some wise guy might come over to your house and go, yeah, you got a lot of finished points there, but where's the blades, man? Yeah, it's cool you got finished points, but didn't they make blades too? Of course, people that you invite over are not going to be that rude, but you get the idea. You might say that to yourself, sitting there looking out the window at the dumb deer and going, you know, every time I look at my display case, I don't have a blade in there. I need a blade. Dude, this is starting to sound like an infomercial. Yeah. It is. It is sounding like an infomercial for my own auctions. Trying to convince you that you need a blade. You need this blade. This blade is going to be good for you. Yeah. Make a little window pendant. Or maybe make wind chimes out of these blades. You get enough of these, you can hang them up next to each other. Makes a good little wind chime. Oh yes, make a musical instrument. You can have different size blades on a xylophone setup and go little tones, right? Right. Or you can save these up for an ASMR video and go, ooh, listen to the sound of the stones, the primitive sound of stones. All right, that's enough. That's enough of that. I could do another one. I think I have enough time to do another quick one, but I'm going to save this. I think this is either an amoeba chert or hornstone. Tell me it's hornstone because I love hornstone. Hornstone's almost my very favorite. Oh man, that looks like hornstone. See, the hornstone also has that type of patina. I mean, that type of cortex. Don't get mixed up between cortex and patina like I just did. Yeah, I still don't know what it is, but it naps. I think it naps well. Let me try it one more time. One more time. Did it do it? Did it reveal what it is? I think it is hornstone. Or something similar. I know there's Fort Payne chert. There's other cherts that are related to hornstone. Hornstone is nature's heat treat, in case you didn't know. Yes, stone can be heated by nature under the ground and turn into a type of heat-treated material. By nature, not by human. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. All right, so this will be the next video probably. Okay? All right. So I'll just take a picture of this one. Make it identical to the last thumbnail, or almost. Okay.